Man, I hope everybody's doing well today. My allergies mess with me a little bit. Um, so I was having a conversation with somebody. Excuse me, allergies mess with me about tithing and offerings. Um, I haven't been to a church physically consistently in years. When I do attend church, um, I attend an online church, which is my childhood church, in a different city. Um, and I go online and watch the online service. But I have church every day. That's between me and Yahuwah the Most High. Um, but the conversation I had with somebody was, excuse me, about tithing and offering. Well, if you don't go to church, how do you tithe? You know, if you was brought up in the church, or if you followed religion a lot that speak of tithing and offerings, most people automatically assume that it's monetary. And that's okay, because that's what a lot of people was taught. But my own opinion, as I got older, and I started looking around and wondering, well, no, tithing and offerings. Sometimes you get your compensation and you want to make that tithing or offering to be faithful and to be of service. But sometimes you don't necessarily have it. You're telling yourself, oh, man, I'm stretched. Sometimes you miss that tithing offering. Sometimes you don't feel comfortable tithing a church or an establishment that you attend or offerings to them because you don't necessarily know what they're going to be used for. I can easily joke about, your tithing and offerings going to the pastor's Mercedes, to their 5,000 square foot home, while you catching the bus, or you in a 1-1, excuse me, or a motel. This is reality. I can make jokes about that. I can make jokes about, T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen, Pastor Paula White, a lot of these TV pastors, that they have faithful workers to make sure they stay in the best of the best. Excuse me. We could joke about those things because it's reality. These pastors drive Bentleys and live in not baby mansions. They live in big mansions, big boy mansions. They wear designer clothing, and a majority of their congregation is struggling to pay their bills. So, all these things have to go in play if you want to be wise and smart and knowledgeable and fruitful and frugal with the blessings that the Most High has blessed you with. He don't want you to be stupid with them. A lot of people forget about the service part of the offerings. In my community, I do have a population of homeless people, less fortunate. Some of them are just homeless for whatever choices they chose, or whatever bad things happened to them, whatever situation life brought upon them. We have veterans that are homeless, PTSD. It's bad draw. But these people are part of our community, whether you like it or not. Whether you consider them part of your community or not, they are. I don't look at them any any less as somebody who lives, in the big house down the street from me. Just as I always hope they would look at me no less because I'm in a little house down the street from them. We all on the same street. I would rather try to help somebody than have to be calling the police because they try to break into my shed to find somewhere to crash because it's cold outside. You know. So as I think about that real meaning, tithing and offerings, I offer myself to service my community. Where can my tithing go? How can I take a little bit of what I've earned and give back, offer it up as a service as well, where I can see it? And it's just the small things. It's the small things. And one of the things I'm choosing to do is, and I never post. I've done an interview with my friend Randy, who's one of the people I'm speaking about it over 6 years ago. He's still homeless. He won't let me interview him when I was first getting to know him. Good conversation. But I don't go around recording him when I give him stuff, or his buddies that, when they camp out. Like, these are the people. I consider them my buddies. I see them, I speak to them. They've always been friendly and respectful to me, my wife, to the community. Some people may be uncomfortable with having a homeless person at a local corner store just sitting there. But we got to remember, these people are still people. So I just realized how chilly it got in these last couple of days down here in St. Pete. And I know I wasn't really prepared for it. So I know the homeless folks wasn't prepared for it. So in my service and offerings, I'm going to go to Salvation Army, get more blankets, maybe a couple jackets, some socks, and go out there and hit the streets and see if I can find a couple of my people. Just make sure they bundled up some, So instead of me taking that change to the local church and saying, I'm off, here's my tithing, just to feel like I'm tithing, I want to put it back into the community. That's my tithing. That's my offerings. To keep the kingdom, flowing equally and taking care of those that's less fortunate, because that's what we're here to do. All this stuff we have around us, all this money, we take it for granted. I have the luxury of having a home to sleep in. I have the luxury of having an automobile I can sit in and drive. I have the luxury of having clothing and sweaters and blankets and a bed to lay in. They're luxury items, no matter how big or small they are. They're luxury items because somebody that needs it don't have it. We take a lot of stuff for granted. So, just in case you're having a, hard time trying to find a way to offer, to tithe to more than just your church, but back to the people, to the kingdom, to God's people. We all God's people, man. We didn't make ourselves. Some people don't believe in tithing. That's cool. That's you. But do you believe in offerings? Can you offer something to somebody else other than yourself? Maybe start there. Make sure you're working on your social emotional skills and levels of where you're at emotionally throughout your day. If you got to write it down. Get your journal. We do have the Mr. SEL journals. Get you one of those just to write your daily tasks, your daily thoughts and emotions, what you ate. Because what you eat does have control of how you feel. Maybe some of the conflicts you might have had that day, some resolutions you had, some positives that you felt. We got to remember, it's okay to wake up happy, even if you're not feeling good. You know, somebody is feeling worse. You know, I listen to my boy Banky Pound. Shout out Banky Pound. If y'all don't follow Banky Pound, go follow Banky Pound. Just like that, Banky Pound, YouTube. You know, he stresses, you know, every bad day you have out here in this world, on the streets, at your job,